We're going to start Chapter 9 by talking about distance and midpoints. If you look at any two given points on a number line, like this, we can identify those coordinates as -2, -5, and the endpoint over here as 4, -5. We can determine the distance between these 2 points by taking the absolute value of -2 minus 4, which gives us 6. So this distance is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units long. The same thing with the vertical line segment. We can call this the 0.66. We can call the bottom one the 0.6 -1. And again, we can say that the distance is the absolute value of 6 minus -1, which gives us 7. The purpose of this is to help you guys understand that distance is positive, right? We don't really have negative distances like you do in physics class. The question begins to arise when we have something along the lines of the blue one over here. If I want to know the distance between these 2 points, essentially what I have to do is I have to create a right triangle and use the Pythagorean theorem. In this case, this would be 4, this would be 7, and then the distance from A to B would be the square root of 7 squared plus 4 squared. That is actually exactly how we're going to use the distance formula. What ends up happening is if we take a look at the coordinates, over here at A, it's -5, 2. The coordinates here are 2, 2. And the coordinates at B are 2, 6. We can plug these into the distance formula to determine the length of this line segment. This is what the distance formula looks like when we have coordinates. So on that last problem, the coordinates were -5, 2, and 2, 6, right? Those are the coordinates of A and B. We can plug these values into this formula to determine the distance. Just understand that whatever you decide x1 is, the y coordinate is y1. And it doesn't matter which you choose as 1 or 2, just so long as you're consistent. So for this particular problem, we could say that the distance is equal to the square root of -5 minus 2 squared plus 2 minus 6 squared. So that distance is equal to the square root of, that's -7 squared is 49, plus -4 squared is 16, which is the square root of 65. It is okay with me to leave these answers in radical form. The next thing that we look at is the midpoint. The midpoint is going to be the coordinates of the point that is exactly in between your 2 points given. And really all this formula means is that you're taking the average or the mean of the 2 x values, and then you're going to take the average of the 2 y values. So here we have -5 plus 2 over 2, and we have 2 plus 6 over 2. And those are going to be my coordinates. So -5 plus 2, that's -3/2. And 8 over 2 is 4. So the coordinates of the point exactly in between these 2 points is here. All right, so let's do another example. We're going to find the distance between these 2 points. So we take the distance formula. It's the square root. Here's x1 and y1, x2 and y2. So we're going to say, I didn't want to put an x there, I wanted to make that a 6. So 6 minus 0 squared plus 2 minus negative 2 squared. That's not correct either. 6 squared is 36. And then this becomes plus a positive, so that's 4 squared is 16. This becomes the square root of 52. And we can simplify that to 2 root 13. So this is going to be the distance between our 2 points. Our final problem is asking for the midpoint of 2 points. So again, I just need the average of the x values and the average of the y values. So my x coordinate is 4 plus 1 over 2. And my y coordinate is 1 plus negative 5 over 2. So this becomes 5 halves. And 1 plus negative 5, that would be negative 4 over 2, and that's negative 2.